Renowned actor Henry Cavill appears to be taking his career in an exciting new direction after confirming his involvement in a new venture, an Amazon adaptation of Warhammer 40K. In this video, I'd like to discuss Henry Cavill's involvement with this new 40K project and why he's the perfect candidate to be the face of this upcoming cinematic expansion. Games Workshop, creators of the Warhammer franchise, have announced an agreement with Amazon Studios to craft a Warhammer 40K cinematic universe. Cavill, who is a well-known Warhammer enthusiast, will not only star in this project, but also take on the role of executive producer. While many details including the showrunner and writer are still pending, it has been confirmed that the project will encompass TV, film, and more, as suggested by Games Workshop and The Hollywood Reporter. In an expression of joy and commitment to the project, Cavill stated in a social media post, "For 30 years, I have dreamt of seeing a Warhammer universe in live action. Now, after 22 years of experience in this industry, I finally feel I have the skill set and experience to guide a Warhammer cinematic universe into life. Partnering with Natalie Viscuso at Vertigo has been a blessing beyond words. Without her, we might not have found the perfect home at Amazon. And having a home like Amazon will give us the freedom to be true to the massive scope of Warhammer. To all of you Warhammer fans out there, I promise to respect this IP that we love. I promise to bring you something familiar, and I endeavor to bring you something fantastic that is, as of yet, unseen. Our first steps are to find our filmmaker/creator/writer. Watch this space, my friends, for the Emperor." Cavill's role in shaping the franchise has also been affirmed by Games Workshop, highlighting his expertise in Warhammer lore and his active participation in the starring role. The actor's dedication to Warhammer has been well documented. During the COVID-19 lockdowns in 2020, he shared his hobby of miniature painting on Instagram, expressing his fondness for the Games Workshop creations. He referred to the hobby as plastic crack and has consistently expressed his deep admiration for the expansive lore developed by Games Workshop over the years. Cavill also shared a visit to Warhammer World, the Games Workshop HQ in Nottingham, UK, enthusiastically speaking about the discussions he had there on Warhammer lore and miniature design, describing the experience as feeling like home. Of course, this is not his first time to step foot into a well-established and beloved fantasy universe, as he's well known for his portrayal of Superman in the DCU and Geralt of Rivia in Netflix's Witcher series, the latter of which Cavill has exited for widely speculated reasons, which I personally feel only add to his qualifications to step in as the face of Amazon's 40K universe. Henry Cavill's departure from Netflix's adaptation of The Witcher is shrouded in speculation, but the most compelling theories suggest a disconnect between Cavill's vision for the series and that of the showrunners. His reason for leaving appears to stem from his deep-seated desire for faithfulness to the source material, a quality many feel sets him apart in an industry often accused of disregarding original lore for the sake of creating more commercially palatable or modernized content. It's been widely reported that Cavill, who was a Witcher superfan before landing the role, frequently clashed with showrunner Lauren Hissrich and her writing team over how the Witcher books were being adapted. Notable among these instances was when Cavill objected to the showrunner's choice of including meta-comedy around the death of Geralt's horse, Roach. The actor was reportedly so dissatisfied with this dialogue that he ended up crafting his own speech, which Hissrich accepted. According to Beau DeMayo, a former writer on the show, Cavill's commitment to preserving the authenticity of the Witcher universe wasn't always well received. DeMayo noted that some of the writers actively disliked the books and video games, going so far as to mock the source material, an attitude that would no doubt have been disconcerting for a devoted fan like Cavill. Tensions also arose with the departure of Alex Sakharov, who was set to direct several episodes of the first season of The Witcher. Sakharov left after his vision for a slower-paced adaptation more in tune with Eastern European literature clashed with the producer's preference for more action and special effects. The mutual respect between Sakharov and Cavill, who lauded each other's understanding of and approach to the series, suggests a shared appreciation for the source material, which the actor might have felt was lacking elsewhere on the production team. Despite the controversies, Cavill's actions and public statements on his departure not only underscore a high level of professionalism, but also a deep respect for the narrative and lore of The Witcher, as he consistently strove to maintain the three-dimensionality of his character and preserve the essence of the story. The dedication to faithfulness, despite the creative differences it seemed to engender, ultimately paints a picture of Cavill as an actor profoundly committed to preserving the spirit of the stories he brings to life, which many feel was a primary contributor to his decision to step away from his role as Geralt of Rivia. Cavill's reputedly principled stance on the Witcher series reflects a strong commitment to fan-based franchises, which for many is seen as a source for hope regarding his involvement in the upcoming Warhammer 40K adaptation. Given his track record of championing the preservation of original stories and his well-documented fondness for Warhammer, it seems fair to anticipate a faithful and respectful adaptation of this beloved IP, especially considering the purported far-reaching extent of Cavill's influence. What I find particularly encouraging about Cavill's mindset when it comes to pleasing the fans of an IP in which he is helping to adapt were his comments in response to a question about the idea of the culture of toxic fandom.
There's something really interesting with this character that I find fascinating, which is that he genuinely really does just want to do the right thing. But everywhere he goes, whether it's a new town or a new bar, people just kind of give him a hard time and they rag on him despite the fact that he has great intentions. I'm curious if that's comparable to this sort of world, this culture of toxic fandom, where like if you make a movie, especially if you make a superhero movie, like you have great intentions, but there are always going to be a small yet vocal group of people there can kind of just be toxic.
I understand what you're saying, but when it comes to fans, it is a fan's right to have whatever opinion they want to have. And people are going to be upset because, especially when you're talking about books or games, because you're never going to be the exact person who they had in their head or who they played on Witcher 3, for example. I don't necessarily consider that toxic. I just consider that passionate.
This viewpoint, coming from an individual deeply entrenched in the Hollywood industry, is notably refreshing. It gains additional significance when juxtaposed with long-standing criticisms directed towards the Warhammer community, which, whether rightly or wrongly, is often controversially characterized as toxic. Cavill's commitment to fan respect and understanding, as evidenced in his response, provides a positive outlook for a series that certainly is in need of such an approach. However, the responsibility of respecting the fandom as a whole extends beyond Cavill to the production team behind the Warhammer 40K project. It goes without saying that any adaptation, no matter how good or bad, will inevitably come with changes to the known lore, which will likely trigger dissent, anger, and division in at least a small corner of the fanbase. It's essential for the creative and production teams to follow Cavill's lead in realizing the importance of taking this into account, and to avoid the prevalent but damaging practice of blaming fans when the inevitable criticism comes. My only hope is that Amazon will hire the talent needed to support Henry in fulfilling his promise to respect the IP while giving the fans something familiar, fantastic, and as of yet, unseen. As this new cinematic universe begins to take shape, all eyes will be on the key players, Cavill, Games Workshop, Amazon, and others, to see how they navigate the intricate balance of remaining faithful to the lore while attempting to create something new and exciting. With a passionate Warhammer enthusiast like Cavill in a leading role both on and off screen, the possibilities are endless. This venture is not just a huge leap for the Warhammer franchise, but also an opportunity to redefine how beloved franchises are adapted in an increasingly fan-driven era. Only time will tell if this venture will successfully deliver on the promise of an authentic and faithful live-action expansion of the Warhammer 40K universe. But I'm curious to know what you think of Henry Cavill's comments about joining Amazon's new Warhammer 40K project. Does his involvement inspire hope or give you cause for concern? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and be sure to subscribe for more Warhammer 40K and other sci-fi and fantasy news and lore. Thank you all so much for your support, and as always, have a very nerdy day.